So this crit, Roger Millikan.
Yeah.
Who was Roger Millikan?
Roger Millikan was a race promoter. Roger Millikan helped a lot of the juniors. Roger Millikan, of course, has passed, so it's like the Roger Millikan Memorial bike race. About right before COVID, Canyon Velo reached out to CBR, R&H Event Promotions, and said, you guys mind if you guys take it over? So what we do is we donate some of the monies and the proceeds all back to Canyon Velo to help them out for Roger Millikan. And that's why Roger Millikan will always have juniors races no matter what until the end of time.
Wow.
So it's been really awesome. He was a very big supporter, really kind of wanted juniors to kind of come up in cycling. And and I'm getting chills right now thinking about it and talking about it, because it's just awesome. And that's really the future to our sport, is you guys. And really appreciate you guys coming out.
Thank you so much.
Dude, no, thank you guys.
2022 Roger Millikan. Here we go. Got baby Liam crying.
You know where I want is?
Eli, anything to say before the race?
There's a hill.
There's a hill. It's windy. Hopefully we can use it to our advantage. Just me and Eli racing today. Should be a fun time.
Okay guys, the start of our first Roger Millikan crit, and we got to the front of the race, like at the start, but then we had to roll out all the juniors, so we ended up like being at the back after it, and that wasn't that great. But Jack, how are you feeling about it?
You know, since we lined up near the back, I was pretty tired and not super motivated to like move up, and so you can see right here, I'm just like the very last rider chilling at the back. I was not feeling great during this race, but you know, halfway through I went for a little attack and tried to open the legs up a bit. How about you, Eli? How are you feeling throughout this race?
Even though it was pretty hot, I was feeling pretty good, but I was just trying to stay like top 10 and really move up if I fall back a little bit, but I stayed with them pretty good.
So right here, Eli, you go on the right side to the very front and you pull for like a minute or two. What were you thinking right here? Why were you on the front?
Just trying to change it up a little bit. I was like, let's see what we can do on the front. See how it feels. And honestly, I wasn't going like fast or slow. I was feeling like a normal pace. And they just stuck on. Nobody came around. And then once I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel it, I pulled off. And I was like, you can go. You can have it. You take the win for me.
Yeah, but it makes a great picture for the island cyclist, don't you think?
Yeah, it would look sick.
So right here, I'm still at the back, and these corners are super surgy. You can see up there, the peloton's like way up there now, and now I have to do like a mini chase effort just to like stay with them. Eli, was it any better up front?
Yeah, it was much smoother, and that's why I just kept moving up, and I was like, oh, it's much easier to ride, and those turns were easier too.
Yeah, so right here you can see Eli taking a flyer. What were you thinking?
I was like, let's see how it is. And I was like, after that little pull I did, I was like, that wasn't too hard. So I do it, and in the middle of it, I'm like, oh, I can hold this. It's good. And then once I reach the headwind, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And then I'm like, I look back. I constantly keep looking back. The peloton's just like staying there. They don't gain or lose. And then finally they start to gain on me, and I get caught.
So coming out of turn 3, you have these cones on the right side, which were super sketchy throughout like all of the races. We got like awfully close a few times, and I always thought I was gonna like get pushed in, but thankfully I stayed safe.
Yeah, so Jack, you're sitting in for a little bit, and then on this turn you like move up to the very front, and there's a little break going. And what are you doing here after this?
Yeah, so I've been sitting in all this first half of the race, and I see this break up the road. I was like, I'm gonna go bridge to it. And it was actually a preem lap right there, and I didn't know that. I probably could have gotten the preem, but then we kind of start rotating but not smooth at all. You can see that guy came from the back and like didn't give us a chance to get on, and so now he's like off the front of us and we're having to like chase back on. And then when I go around him, he doesn't hold my wheel, so we just weren't working super great together. And then after I take this pole, I got up to like 39 miles an hour on that downhill. I just didn't think we could work great together, and I thought we would get caught, so I just kind of like sit up and let the peloton catch me. It actually takes like a whole half a lap for the peloton to catch me, though. We had gotten a pretty big gap just from that like few laps. But then I slot back in and I don't go to the back anymore. Try to stay more like mid-pack this time.
So in this race, we try to use a little bit more teamwork, because all like the first couple races this season, it was more of like we were racing not on the same team. But today, it was a little different. So I'm feeling pretty bad. I'm feeling it. So I'm like, I'm gonna get Jack to the front, and then he can do as best he can on the sprint. So that's what I do. I get him to like halfway up, and then you get to like, what, halfway?
Yeah, you did a great job at getting me like front to mid-pack. And then with like half a lap to go, I see the Go Fast train like organized with 3 guys, and they like attack on the left, and I like try to follow them, but I kind of like get pinched, and then I sprint for my first top 10. So this was an amazing race out at Roger Millikan. Huge thanks to California Bicycle Racing for putting it on. Next, we're headed to Valley of the Sun.
Post-race, time to recover with some Flow recovery drink mix.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's gonna cool the legs down nice. Dude,
How you doing, man?
how'd you win?
Good job, man. Taking a flyer. Yeah, it's good. I think it was you, one of you guys. I forgot. I'm so like phased out right now. But one of you guys like took in the front. I think it was you. And then I just felt good, so I'm like, I just tuck in the arrow position. I just went. So it was good. It was good.
How was the race, Justin?
Are you gonna be in the
Yeah, see if you want to. It was good. I didn't feel like myself today, but we got it done. I just had to keep it. It was weird because when people were going off the front, it seemed like it was really hard to stay off the front because the Peloton had so much momentum. It was like riding Zwift actually. Like when you're on Zwift and you go off the front, you got to do like a incredible amount of watts to stay off the front, and then the Peloton's just like rolling, and that's how it felt today. It was like it was hard to stay to hold a gap. So just monitoring the front, catching and killing, following stuff to neutralize it for Corey. And then in the lead out, Hunter did a really great job getting us into one down the hill. Sean basically took it down the hill. Everybody was waiting for us to go. Sean got to the back straight, lit it up. It was perfect. And then I did what I can to bring Corey inside 200, and then he did the rest.
These sprints have been getting close since y'all lost your sweeper, CJ.
I know, right? I know. We got to get him back into shape so we get a little bit of a buffer.
See? They need to pay me more. That's the problem. I'm not getting paid enough. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to get out of the race early. I'm not getting that extra pay. It's okay, man. I'm trying to show them how much they need me.
Nice race, guys.
Thank you.
How was it, Tim?
Oh man, this was so much fun. I haven't done a race with like 6 of us ever, so practiced a lot of communication. We made some bad calls with 1.5 to go, but Rex and I got in good position as if we still had our sprinters there, and I'm happy.
The New Jerseys look good.
Thank you. It was fun to ride the front, try to infiltrate some of the leading train, disrupt it a bit, make sure they didn't have full control. It made this like real big surge happen with 3 to go that really sent the momentum around the outside that like we just couldn't recover from. But all in all, super safe, aggressive racing, and I'm happy to be here, man. It's super fun.
How was it, Kyle?
It was a pretty good race. I was struggling with cramps probably because of the heat. It was pretty, fairly hard race. That happens to me. I'm an old togie, I guess. But we were communicating well. We were in good position. I think next time we'll be doing better. So, good job.
Thanks. All right, man, nice work out there.
First time out here doing the Roger Millikan crit, and me and Jack both spent some time up at the front. It was wild.
Yeah, it was a super hard race, and then coming into the last lap, I saw Go Fast go, and I jumped on their train, came in for 9th, and then we watched the pro race, which was super awesome. Now, time to go watch the Super Bowl.
As always,
you know it, Bros Ride Bikes.